I've always believed that in a relationship, communication is key. But recently, I've found myself struggling with a recurring issue with my boyfriend. It started subtly, like a faint background noise that you can almost ignore, but it has grown louder and more intrusive. I began to notice that whenever I talked about something that interested me, my boyfriend would interrupt me. It wasn't just the interruptions that bothered me, it was how he would shift the conversation to himself or change the topic entirely. It left me feeling unheard and dismissed, as if my interests and thoughts didn't matter to him. I decided to confront him about it. I wanted to share how his interruptions made me feel, hoping that he would understand and we could find a solution together. I told him that his behavior made me feel like he didn't care about what I had to say. His response was disheartening. He told me that I talk a lot and that I couldn't always expect him to have a response. His words stung. Instead of acknowledging my feelings or offering an apology, he deflected the issue back onto me. I felt a strange, uncomfortable sensation, a mix of disappointment and frustration. It was as if a small crack had appeared in the foundation of our relationship. I had always thought that the person I chose to be with would be interested in everything I had to say. After all, isn't that part of what makes a relationship special? The ability to share your thoughts, passions, and experiences with someone who genuinely cares? I began to wonder if my expectations were too high, or if he was truly lacking in empathy. The more I thought about it, the more conflicted I felt. I loved him and cared about him deeply, but could I truly be in love with someone who didn't seem to value my voice? Feeling stuck, I decided to give it some time. I needed to process my emotions and think about what I wanted. But the issue continued to gnaw at me. I couldn't shake the feeling that something fundamental was missing. So, I decided to have another serious talk with him about it. I hoped that a more in-depth conversation might help us understand each other better. That morning, I sat down with him and laid out my feelings once again. I explained how important it was for me to feel heard and valued in our conversations. I told him that his interruptions and the way he often changed the subject made me feel insignificant. To my relief, he seemed to take my words to heart this time. He admitted that sometimes he found it hard to engage in deep conversations when he wasn't in the mood to talk. He also acknowledged that there would always be topics that one of us found less interesting than the other. He suggested a compromise. If I could let him know when something was particularly important to me, or if I made a point to ask if he was listening, he would make a conscious effort to be more attentive and avoid interrupting me. He reassured me that he did care about what I had to say, even if it didn't always come across that way. His words were comforting, but I knew that actions speak louder than words. I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt and watch how things progressed. Over the next few weeks, I made a conscious effort to communicate more clearly. When I had something important to discuss, I would let him know up front. And true to his word, he started to be more attentive. He listened more and interrupted less. I could see that he was trying, and it meant a lot to me. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was a step in the right direction. Our conversations became more balanced, and I started to feel more heard. However, there were still moments of doubt. I couldn't help but wonder if this newfound attentiveness would last or if it was just a temporary change. I wanted to believe in his efforts, but a part of me remained cautious. I knew that building a strong, empathetic relationship would take time and patience. It wasn't just about avoiding interruptions, it was about creating a space where both of us felt valued and understood. As we continued to navigate this issue, I learned more about myself and my needs. I realized that my desire to be heard wasn't just about conversation, it was about feeling respected and loved. It was about knowing that my partner valued me enough to listen, even when the topic didn't interest him. And in turn, I tried to be more mindful of his interests and give him the same level of attention and respect. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but it was evolving. We were learning to communicate better and to understand each other's perspectives. It wasn't always easy, and there were still challenges to overcome. But I remained hopeful. Love is a journey, and every step, no matter how small, brings us closer to a deeper connection. I knew that as long as we were both willing to listen, learn, and grow together, we could build a relationship that truly valued and honored each other's voices.